Welcome to 21 Days of Sage Intacct for a New You, presented by LBMC Technology Solutions. Because it takes 21 days to make or break a habit, over the next 3 weeks, we'll empower you to reimagine the way that you work by providing 21 days of great tips to make a better you in Sage Intacct. Let's get started. The new you in Sage Intacct starts today. Day 11, setting up a project estimate with import. Learn how to quickly import project estimate lines from an external spreadsheets, reducing manual data entry and ensuring accuracy and cost estimation. So we can import quite a few things inside of Intacct, and one of those things is actually an estimate with WBS, like a work breakdown structure, or just the estimate by itself. So you would come to Company, import data to be able to see this list that I'm looking at here. And you can see that I want the template that says import estimate with WBS because I want the detail. So I would download that template and then I would fill it out. And maybe you're using some other product for estimating so that you could, fill this out based on an estimate that is coming from another system like HeavyBid or any kind of estimating software that you're using outside of Intacct. You could use it to populate this import template. And this is the import template for an estimate with a work breakdown structure. So you can see I have lots of columns hidden here. And that's just because it can be very expansive as to how many lines of detail that you want to enter, how many columns you want to enter, what dimensions do you want to tag to these different entries, like maybe vendor, etc. So you can see here over to the left, these columns are the header information for an estimate. And if you don't have a project already existing inside of Intacct, when you import a estimate, you can automatically create the project for you. So that's an option as well. And so some of those columns are hidden too. So this is the header information, and then this is the detail information. So this has cost code, cost type, item, which is associated with the cost type in Intacct, the quantity, and then we have the amount, and then the general ledger account required that these are going to go to. So for example, subcontracts goes to a general ledger that's subcontracts. So we have the basic information here, and now we can go back to Intacct and show you how to import that. So you could do it just right here. You could say import, but I actually like to go to projects, project estimates, and then here, I like to say import estimate with WBS. If I clicked on it in the other screen, it would have brought me to the same place, but I'm typically already here. And I reuse that import template over and over again to import new jobs. So this just speeds up your entry time with entering a estimate inside of Intacct, unless you're using, actual Sage Intacct to estimate and prepare your job budgets. You could do that. It's not really an estimate per se. It's more of a budget for a job. So it's very important, but it's typically only the cost side of things. There's no revenue in there. So then you would choose your file, go to browse out to where your file is, and then do import, and that would create a new project estimate with line items. And so if we looked at a project estimate, it would import all these line items instead of having to manually type them out inside of here. Some companies like to do that, but I find it a little bit easier to import based on an Excel spreadsheet because typically the estimating and the budgeting is done in another software anyways. So that's how you could import a project estimate with a work breakdown structure. You can also just do a simple import as well. And then one last thing to point out is jobs can have more than one estimate or budget inside of Sage Intacct. And so you can see here that we have primary marked on all of these, but you could have several scenarios underneath a project for project estimates with different, estimate numbers, but aligned with the same project. And then you can only have one marked as primary. Thank you for joining us today on our presentation of 21 Days to a New You in Sage Intacct. If you want to talk to an expert, here's our contact information. We look forward to hearing from you.